Door noises. Oh, hold on. Let me get the chat open. Okay, so I see Big Mac and a Jen. But yes, all 5 slots are finally filled up, which is awesome. So I think for the most part we're going to focus on the harder ones first, and then we'll go down the list. And we are also playing on Unleash the Archers in the background because I am that much of a fucking metalhead. So let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna do some line stuff here. How does it snag a spot to get my girl in a pretty dress? Yeah. And that's going pretty well so far. Hey, Crystal, welcome. Oh, actually, someone did mention they wanted in the stream, so let me poke some people. Yes, great defender, a silver ravenous fury. Oops, that's not right. Come on, tablet. So, the first one we're doing tonight is... Whoa. Music bot. Anyway, first character we're doing is another one for Cyborg Charlotte. This time, it is of a villain OC named Jaeger. She's sort of the protege of this Ironmonger-esque villain named Warhead, and I've actually worked on Warhead in the past as well. Can't be here long because I'm going clothes shopping for my relative's wedding, but I'll try to watch this for a bit. That's fine. But yeah, honestly, we're, the client and I are both digging, the direction of where, Jaeger's armor is going. Lore-wise, her armor is actually taken from one of the first models of Warhead, I believe. Hey, Mr. Maniac, welcome. So yeah, we're, focusing on some other commissions for now, but I will get to yours as soon as I finish lining one of them. We also have a Ribbon Bounds commission up right now. Specifically, they wanted their OC and Curly Brace to switch outfits. Like, I really like how the foreshortening's turning out so far, so I can't wait to finish that. I meant to say my mom is taking me clothes shopping, yeah. Not a problem. Specifically, I'm going with these two first because, well, In terms of technicality, they're one of the harder ones. Like, this suit of armor, yo, and all the greeblies that I'm doing, and this because, well, 2 characters and also guns are hard. Did you get anything for Christmas? Yeah, I posted it a long time ago. Specifically, I got, let's see, Scott McCloud's Making Comics. I also got, well, Steam and eShop points. I also got this, really nice, wool sweater. Oh, I got, a wooden Makar, like, Makar from Wind Waker. I feel silly for getting some of these, but it's like, it's not currently in my main memory banks right now. Yeah, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, that's another one. That's another big one. Thanks. Is there anything else I forgot? Hang on. Oh yeah, I also got some headphones. So not much for Christmas, but the bulk of my gifts were really nice and really appreciated. I ended up getting Mario Party Superstars, Pokemon Sword, and using eShop card to get Hades. Awesome. It's not plugged in. I got Shining Pearl for Christmas. Alright. That's the version I own. Yeah, Brian and I actually got opposite versions. Well, not for Christmas. It was something we decided on long ago. You know, speaking of Shining Pearl, I haven't finished it yet. But honestly, my opinion for the Gen 4 remakes is, like, dwindling as I'm going along. So, I kind of feel like I'm getting to the phase where I'm going to finish it out of obligation, not so much because I want to. And that's horrible to say because I love Sinnoh. What? Multiple layers? What the fuck? I didn't decide this. Must be a new one. I got a sous vide machine. Sous vide? I want that run back, Cyrus, you fucking nerd. I would say, interesting you're not saying that about Cynthia, but usually most of those people don't survive very long because it's Cynthia. Like, I Guardians of the Galaxy and Kena for PS5, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the Kill la Kill Blu-ray collections I was waiting for, and I got Xenogears. Oh, you got Xenogears, sweet. Sous vide is a method of cooking in which food is placed in a plastic pouch or a glass jar and cooked in a water bath for longer than usual cooking times, usually 1 to 7 hours, up to 72 or more hours in some cases, at a precisely regulated temperature. Awesome. I've survived Cynthia several times. Most of her Pokemon are weak to ice. Like that matters, it's Cynthia. You have to really know what you're doing in order to challenge her consistently, but yeah. I love how challenging Cynthia is, because, you know, it's like the ultimate test of, you know, how good your team is. Not to mention, her Garchomp is also, you know, it's got trained in max... It's fully trained in terms of IVs and EVs, I think. It's really strong and scary, is what I'm trying to say. And I love that. I remember this one Team Fortress 2 collaboration with the sound, with a sous vide machine. Yeah, I'm serious. What? Team Fortress 2 is weird. Oh hey, it's Kragatoth's theme. Again, Mr. Maniac, that depends on how fast I get the line art done with this. So I'm gonna say eventually. Don't worry. Xenogears was $90, and that's the cheapest price I could ever get from my local game store, because eBay prices are somewhere between $150 and $400. No. Also, I'm recovering because I just saw Spider-Man. Yeah. Again, I'll just state this again for those just joining, but, I'm working on the harder ones first, or at least the more technical ones, and then I'll work my way down to the easier ones. So, that's how I'm rolling with this. Oh, hey, Brian.
Scream!
Scream! Gotta get the tone of voice right, come on. Got the lore ready for them. No, feels is good. It means we still have emotions. Don't apologize for good storytelling.
Who does that?
I mean, apparently Mr. Maniac. Oh, Big Mac added you saying, did you see Saitama versus Popeye?
Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of satisfied by it, despite the result.
Let me guess, Saitama won.
No.
What?!
Yeah, Popeye won.
What?!
And to be fair, I feel like this episode of Death Battle, in terms of like the analysis breakdown, were a lot more self-aware of the idea itself. Because the reason they explain it is because Toon Force is fucking stupid.
I don't know how to feel about this. Which I know is a very me answer, but like, so they were taking it seriously? Were they not taking it seriously? What?
A little bit of both. Like, it was clearly like they were having some fun with it. I mean, for one thing, the fight itself was really cool, because they were going through like multiple different animation styles that they've been doing throughout the years, which I thought that was pretty cool. But like, the other thing too is that they do kind of play up how dumb the idea of Toon Force is, where you can just say no to damage because you're a cartoon character. Danny!
Heyo!
Oh, hey, Danny.
I am back from Dindins.
Hey, good timing, too, because he kind of came in during my headcanon Kragatoth theme.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd be cooking some din-dins now, and my cat Cece smelled it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I bet she's freaking out about it.
Yeah, well, it's chicken. It's her favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to tell her it's not done yet. I think she's just wait, no, stop! Why are you putting it back in?
There we go.
Oh, thanks, Danny.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, and then I saw while we were, I apparently saw while we were eating that one chick, what's her name? Like, Ghislaine Maxwell or something? The chick that was with Epstein? Yeah, found guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, good. Take her ass down. Danny, what are your thoughts on the latest death battle? I have not kept up with that battle. What was the latest death battle?
Saitama versus Popeye.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I don't know, I didn't watch it, but who won?
Popeye.
Really? How did Popeye pull that out?
Because Toon Force is stupid.
Wait, what?
You honestly should have heard my reaction, unless you didn't. In that case, fuck you, Discord.
Okay, so, Danny, you know how it's like a typical gag, like in like the old school days of cartoons with like rubber hose and whatnot, where like they just get hit by everything. They can just get hit by whatever, and then they just like pop back into reality like nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's Toon Force. Basically, just the idea that you can just say no to damage because you're a cartoon character.
Okay. Did anyone see the new Spider-Man? No. No, I've heard
no
a lot
spoilers.
Of good things. I've heard a lot of really good things about it, though.
Yeah. I'm the only one here who probably hasn't.
Yeah, so no spoilers, please.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think this will be a thing where if you do spoil the movie, I will kick you out of the stream. So just be aware of that, people.
That's where it's like, at this point, I was like, I'm just waiting for it to show up on a streaming service.
Yeah.
So Jordan, what you be drawing here?
I guess I'll explain it again since you guys weren't here for it. So, first we're starting off with this villain character named Jaeger. She's the protege of the supervillain Warhead. Think Ironmonger from Iron Man.
Yeah.
And she's like that dude's sidekick. And it's been commissioned by Cyborg Charlotte, which I've worked with her in the past, and I love all her characters.
Okay.
Like, you can definitely see influences of which hero or villain a certain character is based off of, but then of course Charlotte throws in her own curveballs on the characters, and that's honestly the best thing for things like this, where it's cool. I like it.
All right.
And honestly, I'm really loving how Jaeger's turning out.
Certainly looks badass.
Yeah. Yeah, Dark Samus was one of the references that Charlotte sent over to me, so go figure.
Jordan's like, it's used to draw Metroid.
Well, that's not the whole point of the character. The whole point of the character is that she's this evil bad dude's protege.
So Danny, I got Xenogears for $90. $90 for Xenogears. Damn. That's
I mean, hey, that's
a good freaking deal. I would figure a game like that, you'd be in the hundreds.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's a steal compared to how it would normally be, I imagine.
Yeah, because usually your rare games or like your really popular ones tend to be pretty high up there.
Video game preservation needs to be more of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, look how well it did for Psychonauts. It got a sequel.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. Another thing is, you know, so we can avoid things like this in the future. And, you know, Nitro Rat did make an amazing point during his, I believe, his Neo review. It was another From Software horror game. Basically, he made the point where, hey, eventually, without proper preservation, all of those cartridges and discs and systems that you own in your house, they will deteriorate over time. And if we don't find a way to preserve their history, then, you know, they're gone for good.
Right.
Nitro Red is a good content creator.
Yeah. Which is another reason why I brought him up, because, you know, I like the dude.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, he can get a little nitpicky with horror games, but, you know, Silent Hill kind of would set a high bar for someone who just got into the genre through it, so I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure it has the 2 discs and the manual in it. Well, the manual you can live without. You kind of need the discs because it is the game is on both discs, so you kind of need that.
Yeah, so like I hope it has both discs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I actually don't know the whole deal with Xenogears. Is it a 2-disc game, or is
it's a 2-disc game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the thing with the with Xenogears, it was actually being developed at the same time as Final Fantasy VII, and it eventually hit a point where they were like, we need to get one of these games available for like the holiday season, so one of these games is gonna have to kind of go on pause for development so we can work on the other one. And ultimately they decided we're gonna pump out the next mainline Final Fantasy game, and then once 7 comes out, and then we'll go back to working on Xenogears. And it's actually kind of obvious, like, I don't know, this is neat. The first disc is really well paced and everything, but I shit you not, when you get to that second disc, like halfway through the game, like, okay, now you can tell this was when they had to crunch, because it was literally, you go from like, you know, dungeon to dungeon, cutscene to cutscene, but rather than, you know, you're on the maps and you're exploring, like, you know how you would in a typical RPG, you've got like the 2 main characters literally sitting in chairs narrating what's going on and what has led them to get to where they are now. So it's like you went from like, you know, well pacing to something so completely different that, like, this is actually like one of the few times, like, I will say, like, I know, like, when it comes to like remakes and like, you know, HD remakes and stuff, it's like, for me it really depends on the game, and I will usually favor an older game that I feel really needs it.
Mm-hmm.
And Xenogears would highly benefit from a remake. You know,
oh, absolutely.
For one thing, it would draw more attention to it, because I mean, it's not like the Xeno series is unknown. You know, thank you Xenoblade for bringing it fucking back.
Thanks,
you know,
Xenoblade.
But you know, at this point, like, I guarantee you, most people, they know the Xenoblade games. You know, a fair amount of people probably have heard of Xenogears, probably haven't played of it. I'll be surprised if how many people actually know of the Xeno Saga series.
Yeah, or at least Cosmos.
yeah, that's probably the only thing people actually know Xenosaga for. It is because of Cosmos. But other than that, it's like, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna do a remake or something, like, yeah, like remake, like bring Xenogears back into the forefront, because for the longest time, Xenogears was highly regarded as like one of the best Square titles, and now it's like practically forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, the most it got in recent years was a concert, which I know a Xenoblade friend of mine was really, really happy for. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so that's where it's like, yeah, Xenogears, I think, would absolutely benefit from having an HD
thanks for the 10
remake.
bits. Big Mac
seen
asks
Nami
you,
from-
Danny. Yeah.
Have you seen Nami for One Piece using the 3-sword style? No, I have not.
If that's something that happened more recently in One Piece, and yeah, I don't think you've been keeping up with it, have you, Nami?
I have not been keeping up with the manga, for One Piece, sadly, so...
Dude, can you even keep up with it?
I was keeping up with it for some time, believe it or not. I think around the time, and mind you, this was a long time ago. I think around the time that I eventually fell away from reading One Piece was when they were at Mermaid Island, which was like one of the first arcs after the time skip. And that was around the time where I was just like, I ended up reading other things, and I just never got back to One Piece. So I know tons of arcs have happened since Mermaid Island.
Yeah, so not to the fault of One Piece by itself, but you just sort of veered away from it naturally, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, remember the time when Luffy punched a celestial dragon so hard he went back into the manga?
What? I'm so confused.
Nami. Yeah, not for nothing, that actually looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
Remake Parasite Eve while you're at it. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a joke that people make when the moment when Luffy decided to punch a celestial dragon in the face in the anime, because when he landed that hit, it went like black and white like manga pages.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
doing
was...
the thing Zoro does.
Yeah,
That's what it's called, okay.
Yeah, that's like, don't get me wrong, Luffy gets pissed, especially when it comes to like the final fights and stuff, but like, yeah, when Luffy punched that celestial dragon, that was like, I was like, no fucks were given.
Yeah.
He's just, I am literally just gonna walk up to this guy and deck him so hard in the face, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it.
Yeah, it's like Balder from God of War 4. Fine, my turn. Uppercut!
And honestly, Danny, the funniest part after that was Zoro's just like, damn, I was gonna cut him up.
Yeah, there are a few games on the PlayStation 1 besides Parasite Eve, are a few things, but one of the Tales games, like Tales of Destiny 2, not for nothing, yeah, the OG Tales series, that would make for an interesting remake. Like, I know the Tales series is huge. There's so many games, so it's like, yeah, why not bring back the classic? It's another series that I think could make for an interesting remake, like, or at least bring back to, if not a remake, maybe like find a way to port it on the modern consoles. How about Wild Arms?
Wild Arms would be good.
Wild Arms was fun.
It's also that thing where, for a while, I think, the completionist kept using it for one of the final segments of his videos.
Yeah, like that, the final music piece, like, where he's doing, like, his basic summary, like, yeah, I think that was, like, that's just, like, the general battle theme from Wild Arms. Wild Arms was so much fun. It was, like, it was, like, it was an RPG, part fantasy, part Western. It was just part sci-fi. It was just so much fun.
I know another game that could possibly get remade, and if it did, I know it'd make Lythera like super happy.
What's that?
Skies of Arcadia.
Oh, I would love to play Skies of Arcadia. That's a game I haven't played, and I've heard so many good things. So it's like, ooh, I'd be all for a report or a remake or something, you know, get Skies of Arcadia on modern consoles, I definitely would play it.
Like, do it, Sega.
Actually, something silly that I learned recently, like if you heard the guy screaming in the album, apparently Demons of the Astral Waste is a concept album. So there is a bit of a story going on.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I thought that was like the case for like all of the songs from Unleash the Archer.
No, well, okay. There's a lot of concept albums that they've done, but Demons of the Astral Waste is one where, like, it's one of them where there is a story attached to it.
Okay, so,
another
like,
one is, Abyss, I think?
Yeah.
I don't know if, Time Stand Still is another one.
It's kind of like a Sabaton. It's like
Yeah.
because Sabaton, don't get me wrong, all their songs are about history and they usually follow themes, but they have like a couple where like the whole album is based off of like one particular thing. Like I know their latest album, The Great War, all of their songs, and actually their next album is following that. It's all the songs on that album, it's all about World War One. So, like, famous events, figures, battles, that kind of stuff. So you had the Great War album. The next one that's coming out is The War to End All Wars, and I don't know what... I don't remember if they've actually put a release date on that one yet or not, but it is coming. They've already started releasing, like, some teaser tracks. Like, one of the songs that's going to be on this next one is about the Christmas Truce, and they've already released that song. And it's a really, really nice song. I mean, it tells a great story, too.
Mm-hmm. That actually, a story that actually happened, too. Like, it's easy to forget that the Christmas Truce was even a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's another thing. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why I love Sabaton so much, is that it really does open your eyes to historical events. Like, you know, of course they cover the big ones, but then they've covered other things that I've never even heard of. And it's like, no, these things actually did happen. Like off their Great War album, like probably the one song that I think everybody fell in love with was a song called Attack of the Dead Men. And it was all about, I believe the fortress, I cannot speak Russian for the life of me, but I believe this fortress was pronounced Auschwitz or something. But,
Auschwitz.
No, not
I
Auschwitz.
think. No.
Auschwitz is World War II. Auschwitz was, this is World War I.
I just realized halfway through when I was saying it. So sorry.
Very different. But, but this was, it was a battle where it took place, it was in a fort. And it was German soldiers versus Russian soldiers. The Russian soldiers were in the fort. The Germans were trying to take the fort. And they decide, you know what? We are going to unleash poisonous gas into the fort. Just let the gas take them out, and we'll walk in and take the fort. So that's what they do. They go and unleash this gas. And in this fort, probably several thousand soldiers were in the fort. So the German soldiers, after they unleash this gas, they go to approach to take the fort, and they see there's like 100 of these Russian soldiers still alive, and they're fighting back. And it freaked them out so much. I mean, it's the closest we've gotten to being like, oh my God, we're actually fighting zombies. It's the closest we've gotten. This is something that actually happened. I had never heard of this story until this song, and it's like, holy shit. That is like really freaky.
Yeah, you know what? This is the first I've heard of that too.
Yeah,
holy
but then
shit.
they were saying like, there was like 100 Russian soldiers. The gas was still taking effect, so I mean, bleeding from the mouth and stuff, but no, they are rising off of the freaking ground and they're firing back. And like the Germans freaked out so much, like the Germans retreated. Like they actually retreated. They were tripping over their own like barbed wires, fences and shit that they were just flipping out. They were like, nope, we're not doing this. So yeah, that was actually a battle where they tried to gas out Russian soldiers, 100 of them survived, fought back, and they forced back like 2,000 German soldiers because it scared them that much.
Don't fuck with Russia.
It's like, holy shit.
Like, I knew Russians were tough, but that takes it to a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this clavicle right.
No problem.
And trying to get this clavicle right. Hang on. What if I...
Let me see. Yeah, Danny. The reason I want to get Tales of Destiny 2 is because I didn't know about it until I saw Kevin Miller was in it. The reason Kevin Miller actually voices the main character in that game, and after listening to the voice acting in that game, yeah, it's him. It's like...
Yeah, some actors
Russia
get...
fucks you. In Russia, gas kills you. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like... You know... But again, that's World War...
They sound like the heavy... Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's just World War One. You know, you would think Germany would have learned, don't fuck with Russia in a world war, but they didn't. And then you get to like World War II, and that's when you have things like the Battle of Stalingrad take place, and that's where like Russia just bulldozed.
Like, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Alright. I'm gonna leave the call and come back real quick because it seems to be, sparking on my end. It's weird.
Oh.
Sparking? It's not
Alright.
good.
A quick reset should fix it.
Okay. OMG, he's Russian. Russian man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like... Yeah, but that was a really cool song that they did on the Great War album. There's a song, like, actually one of my favorite songs is called Ghost in the Trenches, and it's actually about this Canadian sniper who's, like, world-renowned as, like, one of the best snipers that we've ever had in the world. He was an indigenous Canadian that, you know, that, yeah, he went and joined the army, and he was going into, like, you know, some of the worst battles, like Passchendaele, which is, if you ever look up Passchendaele, oof, that was one of the worst battles to take place in World War One. Like, too many freaking casualties. And this guy has walked through several battles and is able to get out okay. And he's, I think, like, after, like, I think this guy's called, like, the White Death or something. He's known as the best sniper in the world. At the time, anyway. But this guy... Oh, what the heck was his name? Francis Pegamagabo. That was his name. Yeah, Francis Pegamagabo. Yeah, he was this indigenous Canadian, and he's regarded as one of the best snipers in history.
I buy it.
So it was like, oh, hot shit. So it's like, that was a pretty cool story. You know, and then of course they cover other things. Like, they did a song about the Red Baron because, of course, how can you talk World War One and not talk about the Red Baron? Like, I've actually seen people do, like, music videos. Like, I saw somebody actually make a music video on YouTube with the song The Red Baron, but it looks like they did it to the Peanuts movie. I guess, like, the recent
Yes!
3D, the recent 3D one. So it's Snoopy doing the whole I'm fighting the Red Baron thing, and all they did was just superimpose the Sabaton song over it, and I'm like, my god, this is just perfect.
I'll get you, Red Baron!
Yeah, it's like, I'm not trying to go to Twitter. It's like,
I just want to imagine the thought process Charles Schultz had when he just woke up one day and said, you know what? I'm gonna make Snoopy's arch nemesis the Red Baron from World War One.
nice. Okay, here. I'll just post in the general chat. Or actually, no. I'll post this under art because it's technically art. But I will link.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I will link. Yeah, so I just linked the Great War album by Sabaton in your Discord.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
We won't play it during the stream though because I'm not sure if it's DMCA friendly.
Well, I'm sure it's not DMCA friendly, but
Nothing
yeah.
ever is.
Yeah. But you know, it's like, hey, you want to listen to some badass friggin' heavy metal, but also like teaches history? Yeah, seriously, guys, go listen to Sabaton. They're awesome.
Hey, this track sounds familiar.
Yeah, I recommended it to you for one of the Greninja videos.
Yeah.
And now I think I converted. Yeah, I think I converted some of your friends into Unleash the Archers fans. I hope so anyway, because it's a good band.
Man, Danny, look at these Italian memes in the Discord.
Well, I'm so confused. What?
I feel
Holy shit, Jen!
Rage and it's Canada. Oh my god, yes.
And there's also Damus Aran. That's how you say her name in Chozo.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Brian, are you gonna be making like another Pokemon Unite video where you're with craziness?
Yes, I'm actually in the process of making some artwork for it at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I've already picked up my music tracks for it.
Oh, nice. Like, is it another Greninja, or are you doing?
Yeah, it's another Greninja one. Because something I also want to make mention is that I do plan on playing up a joke where Greninja got nerfed again. Because he did.
But does it matter?
Yeah, that's actually the point of this bit that I'm making here, just to show, like, you know, yeah, so yeah, these nerfs, they mean nothing.
Sounds kind of familiar. Hey, Palutena, what's up?
I just, honestly, no, I feel like it's funnier with Palutena, though, because, like, there was a moment where, like, they tried to nerf her neutral air to make it so it didn't launch as far, but they actually buffed it by making it a better combo move, which is what people were using it for anyway.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Or, I was about to mention it.
Yeah.
Lucario, Cinderace, Greninja? What? Okay.
Well, hey, MusicBot, you feeling okay?
Wait, what happened with MusicBot?
It's speeding up the song a bit.
Oh.
I don't know if it's on my end or if you guys can hear it too, but yeah. That's what's happened.
Okay.
And I wish it wasn't.
Okay. Well, what about that other the music player, the one that we had tried with Carson Strahd?
Yeah. I'll give it a shot if this fucks up too badly, but yeah. For now, it's fine. And hey, funny thing, today when I was like getting it ready for the stream, it played immediately, as opposed to all the other times when I would try to get it to play and play and play and it wouldn't fucking do anything.
Anywho's, I'm going to get my chicken and feed Cece her meats.
Okay.
Alright. Embrace the rising tide.
Me and the boys are on our way to beat the shit out of Zapdos. Well, technically, it's beat the shit out of Articuno right now, apparently.
Articuno?
I guess they switched it up for the holidays, because everything's all Christmas-themed.
Okay. I mean, hey, it gives Zapdos a break.
Right. I mean, it still functions the same way, but yeah, apparently it's like, yep, that. I guess for Christmas time, it's Articuno now. So
hey, Articuno, I want people to love me again. Can you tag in for a second? Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah. No love for the Moltres, apparently.
Yeah.
Not sure when you would. Not sure when you could bring in the Moltres, but.
Summer solstice?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't play Pokemon Unite, and I probably never will. No, I definitely never will. Sorry.
It's like I don't mind playing Pokemon Unite. It's just I know I'm not gonna get anywhere on ranked. I tried, and like I cannot get beyond the freaking great class level because I keep getting paired up with people that can't play well, and I'm losing. And every time you lose, you lose points, you lose ranking. So any progress that I make, I end up losing it anyway. So it's like that's where I gave up.
Yeah. That's what Brian keeps complaining about too.
Yeah, well, both he and BJ, but both he and BJ, they actually hit like the master class. It's like
yeah.
Yeah, I know BJ's in master class. I think Brian is too. Brandon is like a couple of levels below, and he's been trying to get higher, but the Pokemon Unites, yeah, the matchmaking is just not that good.
Honestly, I find it hilarious that they both acknowledge that they don't like playing Unite, but it's like a very serious case of Stockholm Syndrome for them.
Right.
They told me this themselves, so I'm not making this up for, like, a joke or anything. But, I don't know. If I were in their position, I would stop playing.
That's pretty much kind of what I did. I mean, I actually played it a little bit today, just because, Brandon and BJ, they were all on, so it's like, oh, well, if we're not doing ranked matches, okay, I can play with you guys.
Yeah, it's like, finally, I can actually play the game now. Yeah, so right now, I'm not coloring Jaeger just yet. I'm just visualizing how the Tron lines are gonna look.
The Tron lines?
Yeah, I mean, it's apt.
Yeah, I know, it's like, I never would have thought to call them the Tron lines. I like it.
Yeah, there's a few terms I kind of have floating in my head that I throw in occasionally, like Greeblies, which is a super niche sci-fi term.
Okay.
Basically means details that look cool. That's literally what it means.
That's like I mean that's like I call what you call it, a Gibble, like the Pokemon Gibble. I call it a Ghibli.
Yeah. Well, to my understanding, you've been calling it that for years.
I've been calling it for years because, like, I think it was like around the time when it was first introduced. I'm like, what the hell is this Pokemon? And they were like, well, what does it look like? And it's like, it looks like a shark or something. It's Ghibli. They were like, Ghibli, what's Ghibli? I'm like, oh, it looks like a piranha thing. You mean Gibble? So it's like, and ever since then, I'm like, I don't care what it's pronounced. I am now calling it Ghibli from now on. Like,
I'm calling it Ghibli out of spite. No, probably not out of spite.
Like, even when it's fully evolved, nope, nope, you will now be forever Ghibli.
You know, if you plan on raising a Garchomp, would you name it Ghibli?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I would. Like, if I did have decided to put one in my party, I would name it Ghibli. Like, there are just some Pokemon names that stick. Like, I would name it Ghibli. And every time I have a Lilligant in my party, I call it the Beast.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
It is a fucking beast. So it's like, it's like, oh, here's all these goofy names, and then in all caps, the Beast. And it's a fucking Lilligant.
You know what? I think Mr. Maniac may have described Pokemon Unite pretty well. Pokemon Unite seems like smoking to me. It's not good, but it gets you hooked.
Yeah, probably.
Crystal, that sounds amazing.
During Christmas week, Mom and I made butter cookies and snowball cookies. We're also going to make fudge and ginger cookies too, because my brother keeps asking over and over to make more, and it doesn't help that these baked goods are addictive. His family said they don't last long. It's like, yep. Oh no, like Mom and I, we made a ton of cookies too, but that was because we were actually like making like boxes of cookies to give out to like some of our friends. So we made like 5 different types. Like we did sugar cookies, we did snickerdoodles, we did the cookies where it's like the peanut butter shortbreads with the Hershey's Kisses in the middle.
Oh wow, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, we did like traditional Italian Christmas cookies, which I thought were the best. That was my personal favorite. And then we made like chocolate rum balls. So,
Chocolate rumbles, never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like Mom made these, and it was almost, the way she had to describe this when she looked this recipe up, it was almost like you're making like a chocolate cake, you add rum to it, and then you roll it up into like a ball, like you would a cake pop. And then she rolled it in sprinkles and stuff and froze them. So then you let them thaw out, and it's more like eating a cake pop rather than a cookie, but you get some good quality rum in there. Good shit.
And then Jack Sparrow hides around the corner and asks, "But why is the rum gone?"
What Pokemon would you name Ark? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, like what Pokemon would Ark be if he were a Pokemon?
Yeah, because tragically, there are no bearded vulture. I know there's a regular vulture, but it's not a bearded vulture, so it's
that, and it's female exclusive.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like,
The only other one I could think of is Braviary, but that's mostly because of the base race Aarakocra. They're based off of eagles.
Right.
Usually, but
Ark for America. Kira would be Hatterene. Yeah, she would.
Ark would be a terrible president. I'm not saying that to be like, to start shit. It's just like Ark is more of
He's like,
I like to think he's more of a follower than a leader. Would you say that's accurate?
Probably. Well, Ark would probably be the kind of guy that would be like, if we're gonna pass legislation, it only passes if you survive the Thunderdome.
Yeah, he's like, I call it aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, it's like, yo, get into the Coliseum. We're going to negotiate. That's how he would do. That would be
Totally.
The presidency. It's like, everything from negotiations to lawmaking is handled in gladiatorial combat.
The only way to get across this bridge is to beat me in combat.
It's like I think Kira would definitely be more of the Hatterene. Okay.
Ricket would be Bayonet. Ricket would totally be Bayonet.
Yeah, he would. Then it's like Corey.
I would say any of the dragon types. I would even I would even say Corey would be Charmander, maybe Charmeleon.
Something. And it's like, remind me, do we have a fairy type dragon?
No, we don't. Unless you count Mega Altaria.
Okay, yeah, because it's like, if we had like a fairy type dragon, that would definitely be Hedrot, but it's like, for the life of me, I don't remember if we actually have one or not.
No, I think we can ask Brian for that answer when he gets back, but...
Okay, and then, we need a...
Sugash would definitely be a fighting type. But which fighting type?
Something effective against Ghost.
Oh, I mean, isn't that what the ability Scrappy does? Or something of the sort? I don't know, it's been a while since I've checked the ability.
Yeah, like, there'd have to be something to make them effective against Ghosts.
Yes. Okay, so, we're gonna move forward here. So, Jaeger is done for now. Which, honestly, I'm really digging, this character. Like, from a design aspect alone, like, she's turning out really cool. Despite being a villain. Okay.
Alright. Dark fighting? Maybe?
We're not talking so much types as we are, like, trying to identify which Pokemon, Sugash would be. That's what we're trying to figure out here.
Right. Because, I mean, if we're going to be talking about typing or something, I mean, it's like, Arc would obviously be flying, but he probably would be, like, either flying fighting or flying dark.
I would say flying fighting.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he liked to fight.
Right.
Ooh, Ripping Through Time. Sorry, this is another one of my favorite songs.
Okay. Alright, so, okay, so then I get to describe this, this commission.
Oh, yes. So this is Rivenbound's, OC, Miki, and, this is, also Curly Brace from Cave Story. Yes, that Cave Story. And basically they wanted me to swap their outfits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so something really fun. And, like, they have their, arms, interlocked, and they're, like, aiming their guns at someone or something.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 characters, which is why I made them, the second choice for, tonight's lineup. And I think from there, I think we'll go to Maniacs.
Alrighty.
And yeah, I love Ripping Through Time mostly because of the riff that's playing right now. I love riffs that are addictive. Like, that goes for anything, really. Like, if you have a good hook, I will just literally break the replay button. Like, I don't do it, like, on stream, but, like, off stream. I would, like, play songs over and over and over again until I'm fucking sick of them. Oh, I just hadn't done my name for an interaction. Alright. I don't know. I don't think Ark's as nice as Boom Knuckles. Which, you know, always can be disproven by his player, but yeah.
I returned and CC like your chicken.
That's good.
Yeah. Brian, we have a question for you. What Pokemon would, Kedrop be?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
existing Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, is there, do we have a fairy dragon?
I'm pretty sure we don't.
Not no, I don't think we do. Oh, technically, if you want to count Mega Altaria, that's a Dragon Fairy type.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but I don't think Mega Altaria fits with, like, the fiery theme that Kedrop has. Like, honestly, I feel like the closest you probably would get is Charizard.
Yeah. You know, yeah. You know, considering, you know, it makes sense, because, Scorchios are basically the Charizards of Neopets.
Yeah, only they're cooler.
You know what? They probably are. It's not hard to be cooler than Charizard. Although,
Yeah.
a funny thing, I did suggest that possibly, Corey could be a Charmander. You know, considering that she's 11 years old, and Charmanders are, you know, baby Charizards. I'm also gonna try and get Mother 3 on my computer. I've started playing Sailor Moon and other story thanks to BSC doing a commentary on the game. Oh.
Mother 3 should be relatively easy to get if you've got the Game Boy Advance emulator. You know, if you've got the GBA emulator, then yeah, the Mother 3 one should be pretty easy to get.
While we're doing this, I should set up Maniac's character here. So, Mr. Maniac, while we're doing this, you are free to give out lore, finally, about your character.
You're welcome. Well, he just sent me a picture of a chocolate pool.
Chocolate pool? Oh no, not that again.
Chocolate pool.
Brandon's not even here.
Yeah, Brandon's not even in this chat. Honestly, Brandon kind of scares me. Like, okay, we don't hang out, but I say he scares me because I feel like I annoy him half the time. Just by existing in his breathing space.
You should not have been in the call then when BJ, Danny, and Brandon were there, because BJ almost declared war.
For this?
Well,
No.
well, a little bit earlier, because, I don't know, is Brandon still streaming?
Yeah.
Okay, he's still streaming, yeah. So he was doing, he was streaming some Pokemon Unite for, charity. And, you know, that's where, that's where I was like, you know what, I'll hop in too, you know, because I'm a filthy scrub, you know, I don't even play. And it was just...
Jen,
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah, and I was like, I forgot what it was that BJ said or something, but Brandon was just like...
I remember.
Okay.
So basically, BJ was telling us about how he actually got into contact with a Unite content creator, and he also said that, Brandon, I do gotta throw some shade for a minute, because I told Crashy that about, how you occasionally like to scout ahead. Yeah, he said stop doing that.
Alright, changing music.
And then BJ also had the goal to then tell Brandon, you should also stop using Alolan Ninetales. And the war was almost declared.
War for Pokemon choices, anyway.
Yeah, because like Alolan Ninetales is like, I think that's still Brandon's main.
Yes. But also, it's also unfortunate, too, that Alolan Ninetales is, like, being power crept right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so power creeping is a thing even in Unite, it seems.
Yeah, in fact, that's actually the reason why Crustal's starting to get low tier, because it's getting power crept by, like, other better defenders.
Yeah, meanwhile, my Eldegoss is apparently, at least according to what you were saying, is still somehow top tier.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. That's actually pretty nice, yeah.
It's like, that makes me happy that my pup still has some respect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I currently have the Scorchio species description up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The Scorchio is a scaly Neopet that walks on 2 feet. It is easily recognized by its spiky appearance, with spines on its head, down its back and tail, and its 2 wings. It has stout, sturdy legs. Its stomach, neck, and face are of a lighter hue than the rest of its body. At about 120 centimeters, it is one of the largest Neopets. Scorchios originate in the volcanic regions of Tyrania, though these days they can be found just about everywhere. They love hot temperatures, and one of their most impressive tricks is blowing a jet of fire from their mouths. If you're looking for a Neopet with a friendly and open disposition and don't mind a lack of fluffy fur, then the Scorchio might just be the pet for you.
Okay. Danny, would you mind if I just DM'd them? Yeah, yeah, by all means. Yeah, DM me whatever it is you want me to read.
Just don't say 7 days.
Yep. Also, next month we are getting Arceus Legend.
Ah. God.
Indeed.
Also,
On
what the
God.
hell? It's already on the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like, yeah. See, that's like, I know, like, because I know I don't don't play Neopets. I remembered years ago I tried Neopets. I don't even remember what the fuck pet I had. But, again, that was like a long time ago. But it's like, at least from what I've seen, like from when you were sending me the sites that show all the different colors and shit, it was like, I was like, oh, I do not recognize like half of these freaking Neopets. Yeah. I think I was like, I tried it back when it was still like, like OG, like, when it was still on freaking Flash,
Yeah. Back during its infancy, I imagine.
Yeah, so I think it was like at the time there might have been like 10 pets.
Yeah.
And there's how many now?
Oh, God, I'd have to go back and count. Although, one of the things that I do like doing occasionally is, like, looking back at some of the original concept arts for, like, what some of the pets used to look like, and the Bruce continues to kill me from what it used to be.
Again, my furthest experience with Neopets was, back when McDonald's were, serious about their toy game. Yeah. I ended up getting a Shoryu plush. Yeah. She was blue. I loved her.
I don't think I actually remember those McDonald's toys.
Yeah, I was actually able to get a Scorchio from one of those.
Yeah, I remember. See, I actually do remember that because I think it was like the year that they did the Neopets in the Happy Meals. That was that was the summer when I actually did work at a McDonald's, and that was when I was working and closing, coming home at 3:00 in the morning, and going to sleep watching Lupin the Third. That fun summer. That was the summer, I think, when they did the Neopets thing. So I remember seeing these little Neopet Happy Meal toys.
Yeah.
I don't think I grabbed one, but I remember seeing them.
Yeah, so, like, until 3 a.m., like, holy shit. I mean, how long were your shifts typically?
Well, I was usually going in at, like, 7 at night, and, well, this was before McDonald's decided to do 24-hour drive-through, so we were allowed to actually close. So, technically, the restaurant would close. The restaurant itself would close, I think it was around 11, and drive-through would close about an hour later, and... yeah, pretty much like, okay, from midnight on, we're closing everything down. So it's like, we try to get a head start on actually closing, like, the dining area for, like, the restaurant. So, wiping down the tables, taking out the trash and shit. But then you have to do the things like, you got to take apart the fountain machines, take off the little nozzles and make sure those are all clean. You got to put away the food. You got to clean everything out. And it's just... It takes a couple of hours to properly close a restaurant. So it's like, yeah, we may start at 12, but, it can take, depending on how much we have to clean and who the hell is working, it could take 2-3 hours. So that's where it's like, yeah, wow. I was coming home at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But that was around
yeah,
but that was around the time when they were airing Lupin the Third on Adult Swim, and that's when I was watching it.
Also, two things. I remember when I used to close for Pizza Hut, never again. Remember, Jen, Mr. Maniac and Crystal were there for the last session, but yeah. If you guys would like to elaborate on how you felt about certain moments about the Curse of Strahd streams, definitely go ahead. Yeah, I still find that session really fun. But Danny, again, I will make sure Ark gets to do more shit in the next stream. Like, RP wise, I think everyone was mostly fine, but
yeah, I know I was pretty quiet, but but honestly, I was perfectly fine with that because it's like, it gave an opportunity for for other people to be able to do a little bit more RPing. Like, Corey got a lot. Yeah,
that's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, Corey got a lot. Mimi's been getting a little bit more. So it's like, you know what? I know Ark has been pretty heavy in the beginning, and Ark definitely will have his time the further we go along into this. So I'm a patient person. I can wait. You know, it's
That's
like,
good.
so,
That's
yeah,
good.
so don't feel bad about like, oh my god, we got to get Ark in here or something. It's like it's like if it's giving other people a time to shine, I'm content with that. I can wait. Cause I
Yeah.
mean, because I think we all know, like, I know we've been saying, like, you know, the big mystery with Ark is when we do get into uncovering his past, and we know when that happens, he's gonna end up taking over. I mean,
Yes.
that's just the nature of the beast. Like, I would imagine, like, if like the closer we get to Strahd and like actually going to like Castle Ravenloft and stuff, I would imagine Kira's gonna be taking over a lot more. You know, if there's something with oh, what's his face, the guy that was teaching Sugash, what was his name?
Yeah. Van Richten.
Yeah, I would imagine if we get more into Van Richten, Sugash is going to start taking over, and I'm
Yeah.
sure
Or
and
Esmeralda
I'm
to
sure,
that same effect.
yeah, and I'm sure you've got plans for Mimi, for Corey, and for Kadrot. You know, everybody's going to have their time to shine.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that a lot of people are really loving Ark, but you know, and I love playing the boy too, but I don't want to end up like just like stepping all over everybody just because everybody wants to see more Ark. You know, I want everybody to have a chance. You know, their time to shine.
Yeah. And that's why I keep reinforcing the fact for simply those people who either don't know any better or if someone's overeager about D&D is that like there's no such thing as a main protagonist character in D&D. Like they're all you're all the protagonists. Like
Yeah.
not one person gains more, prominence than the other because well, that would be stupid and ham-fisted and really not fun for everyone else.
Right.
Um
Who's Kira? Big Mac. Kira, that is Terrace Moon in the chat. That's her character.
oh, hang on. I can point it out right now.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's her character, and I don't know if you've been watching our D&D or not, but yeah, Kira is like our warlock sorceress character.
And she is right here. This is Kira. And she is from the kingdom of Virtus Lenora, and she's a princess, and she is very sweet and very strong, and Strahd wants her for some reason. Kind of gross, considering she's 18.
God's like, age is a number.
I would say he'd probably say it in a lot more of a charming and Strahdish way, but yeah.
Okay, and
And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to feel gross today.
Yeah, but okay, cool. So Maniac sent me lore to share for when we get to him.
Oh.
It's like actually speaking of which, I think maybe now like I know I haven't made the full announcement yet because I don't know if we've decided one shot, but basically I think now's probably a good time to to mention because some of the people in this chat do keep up with D&D that we're gonna do some things a little bit different. So normal, yeah, because I know we all agreed that we were all gonna take January 1st, off, because it's the new year. So originally the plan was it was going to be the next session was going to be like 2 weeks from that. Well, one of my dad's Christmas gifts that he pretty much got for all of us was he got us season tickets to this really nice dinner theater that we like going to. And unfortunately, most of these shows, like all these shows are on Saturday nights, and most of them would fall on nights that we normally would play Curse of Strahd. The good news, though, is that if you look at the schedule, because we actually like laid out the schedule for the whole year, it's like every like 4 or 5 sessions of Curse of Strahd, like I could be able to do those no problem. But then there will be a Saturday night where normally we would be streaming Curse of Strahd, and I'm gonna be at this dinner theater that night. So not only am I not gonna be able to play, I'm not gonna be able to stream. But what we agreed on was on those weeks when I'm not there, everybody else they're gonna get together and they're gonna do some one shots. Now they're not gonna be able to be streamed on Spiffy Needle Geeks because I'm the one with the access to the account. So there might be like a one shot might be on Jordan's Twitch channel right now. I know Boone has some one shots that he wants to do. So, he'll probably be streaming those on his YouTube channel. So, I mean, when those days come, I will obviously be letting everybody know. But yeah, normally, what was? Hang on, let me pull up the calendar real quick. So
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so normally our next session of Curse of Strahd was going to be January 15th. That's actually the first night that I'm going to be gone. So instead of opening up the year with Curse of Strahd, they're gonna be opening up with a one shot on another channel. So technically January 29th is going to be when we get back to Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, so a bit of a longer wait than usual, but there is some one-shot goodness coming.
Yeah, but it is, it kind of became like the happy accident because it's like I said, we do like 4 or 5 sessions of Curse of Strahd, and then it's like, okay, we'll get a nice little break, so it allows everybody, okay, let's play something else. It gives Jordan a chance to be a player.
Finally.
And not be the forever DM. So it gives him an opportunity to do that. I think Jen, or Terrace Moon, I think she even said that there's some one-shots that she would actually like to try. So, I mean, it gives Jordan a chance to be a player. It gives other people a chance to DM. Gives them opportunities to just play around and all that other stuff. So yeah, we got that. We got that to look forward to.
Yeah. So that said, you guys may be doing a little bit of jumping around, but
like I said, as soon as because I don't know if you guys have decided yet on what's going to be the first, who's running the first one shot, because when you do, I'll be able to make the announcement saying, okay, guys, on this date, there's a one shot, and it's going to be found here, and I'll be able to link to it properly. And I'll do that on the YouTube channel. I'll do that on Twitter, so I'll be able to let people know.
Yeah. That said, I'm still undecided for when this one shot I'm planning will take place. So, I think it's safe to say that I won't do the first one, which honestly would be nice because, it would be honestly nice to be a player for once.
Right.
So I think I will wait a little bit before I claim a date.
But we at least got that to look forward to.
Yeah. I already have a couple character ideas already lined up.
Danny, I just found a tweet. No one. Literally no one. Not a soul. Me at your window at 3 a.m. Okay, so Yandere Bakugo.
Ugh.
It's not like I like you or anything, nerd.
Hey, it's funny that Jordan doesn't like Bakugo. Well, I don't like him. What do you want me to say? Oh no, not the dickhead. Not Pineapple Boy.
It's a bag of dick.
Who's been drawing dicks?
Spoiler alert, it's actually Kirishima.
You know what? If prompted, Kirishima probably would draw dicks.
Dicks for justice.
Yes.
For chivalry.
For chivalry.
You know, they do say that the dick is the symbol of a man.
The chivalrous hero who draws all the dick.
How does this actor do his voice? That hurt.
Oh, Justin Cook?
Yeah, Justin Cook. How does he do his voice? I can't do it. It hurts.
Lots of training, apparently.
Yeah, I tried to do that and it hurt.
Well, I mean, it's like, like ask like Kellen Goff, like, yeah, how's your throat feel after doing Diavolo?
You are creator of sex, yes?
Yes. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now it's a hand. Kind of. Yeah, now it's a hand. Also, side note, I have yet to get tired of Oblivion and Skyrim music. It's weird.
Skyrim had good music. I'm not as familiar with Oblivion, but Skyrim had some good music.
I actually think Oblivion's music is a bit more up there than Skyrim's, but I think that's mostly because I've seen my brother play it, so it has a bit more of a nostalgic vibe to me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Alec played Oblivion a lot. Granted, he did also play a lot of Skyrim, but I don't know. With how janky Oblivion is, I would like to say it's more memorable in a way.
Yeah, so it's like I've heard a lot of good things about Oblivion though.
Yeah, like even as a game, ignore all the glitchy and fucked up NPC interactions, which you can find several videos on. As a game, the side quests are pretty good from what I understand. Some of them even have funny endings. Like, this is a little dark. I will say, trigger warning for suicide. Like, just mute for 20 seconds. So, there's this one side quest where a guy wants to jump off of his post because he's I think he's a guard. Anyway, he asks, "I wish there was someone who can just push me off the tower right now." And then if your character grants it, he's like, "What?" And then he falls to his death completely unprepared.
Fuck. That's some weird ass programming.
It is, but like it's like, dude, I'm not ready. It's rare when dark humor like that gets thrown so casually. And usually I hate those sorts of jokes, but I think this is one of the very few examples where it was kind of done right with how sudden it is.
Well, it's like that. I mean, well, and you could tell easily that it was. I guess it's like they use like canned lines or something. Like, even if that guy didn't say that he wanted to be pushed off, I guarantee you, if you went and did that, it would have been the same line. He would have gone, "What?"
Yeah.
So it was just that's probably just how something like that was scripted, like regardless of what happened, which is probably what makes it a little humorous, because you're just like, wait, what the fuck?
I don't know you, and I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I think, like, one of the Borderlands games. I've only played the first Borderlands, but I remembered seeing this video that you have like this crazy guy that's like for like minutes on end if you don't stop him, he just begs to be shot in the head. And he's just going on and on and on. He's just screaming at you, shoot me in the head, shoot me in the head. And then you go and actually shoot him in the head. The last words that he says, thank you. It's like, what the fuck? It was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know which Borderlands game that was, but I remembered seeing that video and it was like, god damn.
Yeah, again, dark humor is something that's really, really hard to get right.
Yeah, but when
it
lands,
it lands.
Yeah, when it lands, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. That being said, I'm not the biggest fan of dark humor. But, yeah. Borderlands, never played them, but god, they seem funny. Yeah, they do seem to have a bit of a charm to it. I should be tickled to death for that kind of grammar, sorry.
That's okay.
The English language is a clusterfuck anyway. I don't feel that bad.
Alright, you know what, Jordan? We're gonna get Bubble Girl down. We're putting you in tickle hell.
Wait, what? Is this catharsis for all the time she's been tickled? You know what, probably.
Never forget that Sir Nine-Eye in his office, just one of his methods of torturing people is putting him to a tickle machine.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, is that torture or is that a fetish?
Yeah, that was literally like my reaction when Brian showed me that episode, and I'm like, what is this fetish shit doing in my hero?
I mean, you could say that for a lot of things in that series, but still.
Yeah, really. It's like, I say this about the anime that has, like, you know, a scantily clad teenage girl literally pulling weapons out of her tits. Nah, that doesn't bother me. The tickle machine, what the fuck?
Like, honestly, Yaya Rose's outfit still bothers me, mostly because I want to protect kids, you know, yes, even adolescent ones, but, at least her suit has a modicum of sense into it.
Yeah, like, there's a reason why it's like that.
I mean, again, I don't like it, but, there is a reason for it.
Yeah. Also, never forget that Midnight is literally called the R-rated hero.
Yeah, no, Midnight, is, like, played straight with that sort of shit. Yeah. So, she's okay. Like, I have a much bigger issue, when there's plenty of adult characters in MHA, yet people make porn of the kids, like okay, way to out yourselves. But that's neither here nor there. Well, whether he hit me is neither here nor there, really. Though, actually, now that you mentioned that he did end up hitting me. By the way, is Chugga done with his Xenoblade 2 LP yet?
I don't think so.
I'm so sick of seeing that on my feed.
That's actually one of the things, like, I'm actually kind of curious about, like, because, like, I know it's his biggest Let's Play and such, but at the same time, it's just one of those things, like, because I haven't played Xenoblade 2, is there really that much content in Xenoblade 2 to warrant that amount of video?
Yes.
It is a
like,
huge
I would say there's too much content, like, if you really want to go for all of them.
Which I think is what
I would say
I think he's going for the 100% completion.
Yeah, it's like, want my advice, you know, completely unbiased, like, despite my history with Xenoblade 2, don't go for everything. Please, don't do it. Because not only are most of the legendary blades locked behind RNG anyway, I don't know if there's a method for cheating the system. I don't know, and I don't care, honestly. Don't tell me. It's also that I feel like the game is a bit too big. Which, if you're a fan of that sort of thing, I would say go for it. But if you're not, then you might as well play something else. But yeah, like, the game has a lot of content to keep you going for, I would say, years, honestly. It's that big.
Okay.
But again, considering that a lot of, say, the Blade quests are locked behind RNG, like, the fact that you need to get them in the first place and then, you know, spend time with them, train them up, and then you get access to the quests, along with, you know, general story progression. There's a lot of factors that play into how big the game can be, and I wouldn't say it's like Breath of the Wild where, okay, you can finish whenever because of just how beautifully flexible that game is. Like, you can even go to Ganon in your boxer shorts and wield nothing but a mop. But,
Yeah, and I know people have done it.
yeah, no, but with Xenoblade 2, it's, I would say not only are the tutorials bad, it can also be overwhelming for first-timers, which, like, kudos to anyone who started the series with 2. You're fucking insane. Yeah, I kind of pulled a Johnny there by saying, I applaud you freak!
It's like, you are a cray-cray.
Yeah. So, like, on a personal level, I hate when things are locked behind RNG if it's done a certain way. And Xenoblade 2 does it in a certain way. It's like, okay, I want to get a move on. Come on, can I please do this quest? No, I don't want another Common Blade. And here's the thing. Cosmos is the rarest blade to get in the game. Like, you're more liable to get Telos before Cosmos, and that's how rare she is.
Jeez.
Honestly, I would say all the DLC blades kind of worsen the chances of getting Cosmos. Like, I've seen people who've gotten her on, like, the 3rd roll or something, and I'm like, how?
Because that's
like,
luck.
Yeah, and after all of that, is getting Cosmos even worth it?
Yes! She's one of the best blades in the game.
Okay, that's like I'm about to say, because I'd be fucking pissed. It's like, you put, like, the rarest one, and it's just subpar.
No, like, Cosmos has her fans, so in that respect, it's awesome that she's such a good blade, too. But, the journey of getting her kind of sucks cock. If I can put it lightly. But again, it's purely luck-based, and I'm not a fan of that. That said, if you do get the major rare blades in this game, based on the previous games, like Shulk, Elma, and yeah, Cosmos, there is a pretty awesome moment that you can trigger with all 3 of them when you're close to the final area in the game. But again, my memory's a little fuzzy on it because, you know, it's been absolute years since I last played Xenoblade 2. It's been so long. And I've never gotten it myself. But honestly, it is pretty cool. Like, Xenoblade 2 has very high highs, but the lows can get a little egregious if you're someone like me.
Gotcha.
Ba, 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 ba. Actually, I think he is now. He did the bonus vid. Oh, thank God! Oh, I'm, sorry you, had to finish a game that you love. What's Chugga's opinion on Xenoblade 2? Like, I honestly don't know. I didn't watch the LP at all.
He really likes it.
Does he like it more than one?
I think so.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think he does.
Fuck. You're not saying that to fuck with me?
No, I legit think he does.
Okay. Well, my spirits are crushed.
Jordan saying you
Everyone
traded.
hates Xenoblade 1. No. Okay, I'm not gonna be that petty. But you know what? With Xenoblade 1 being my favorite game, it sure feels like that sometimes. But I think it's mostly because Xenoblade 2 is so oversaturated, it just comes off that way, I guess.
And that's fair.
Yeah, it's like everyone talks about 9 times out of 10 when someone talks about Xenoblade, they're talking about 2. It's like 1 and X don't even exist. Hi, Malik. Welcome.
Well, I mean, not even Nintendo acknowledge X.
Which sucks because X is a pretty cool game in its own right.
Yeah, X wasn't bad. It's just the worst part about it was the online connectivity, and that was one of the main reasons I even bought that game in the first place, because it's like, oh shit, so I can run around, pilot a mech and such, and it's like I could be playing with, like, you know, Brandon, BJ, like we can all get this game and we can just go around and mech fight. Fuck yeah. And we had so many issues trying to connect.
I think not even that. You get the Skell super late in the story, like mega late, I think. I want to say like maybe chapter 5.
Yeah, it does take time to get them, you know, but even then, it was just like, even if we didn't want to go into the mechs, even if, like, we just wanted to go around and kill some shit, we still, like, yeah, good luck trying to connect.
Well, that part I didn't know about.
Yeah, I know BJ and I, we were having a lot of issues trying to play together on Xenoblade X, so that's where it's like, you know, oh, well, if they decide to acknowledge Xenoblade X and be like, hey, put it on the Wii, put on something a little bit more stable, then it's like, yeah, I'd be willing to give it another shot.
I think the producers went on record to say, hey, we know you want Xenoblade X on the Switch. We do too. It's just the game is so fucking big. So it's probably going to be like a process that's going to take several years to complete if they're even like attempting it.
Gotcha.
Which I hope they are, because, you know, the community is the strongest aspect of Xenoblade X. And for someone who, like, gave up on it early on because, you know, he was a dumbass back then, I definitely would say that even the community has stood the test of time, even though the game's moment in the limelight is long done, and they're still hoping for a Switch port. Like, let that speak for how much they love this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I know I didn't get too far into Xenoblade X, but I will say, like, you know, from what I did play, it was a lot of fun. And it's like, I think this was like a song that played more towards the end, if not like the final boss fight. It was like the key we lost. Oh my god,
yeah, that's the final boss theme.
Song. Holy fuck, I love that song.
Yeah. I mean, it helps that they had like a super good composer, Hiroyuki Sawano.
Yeah. So
Yeah, of Attack on Titan fame.
That's like, oh my god, that song got stuck in my head so fast when that came out, and I'm like, where is this song? Oh, it's at the final battle. Never got that far.
Yeah, you know what? That's my same deal. Like, I was a naughty boy and listened to the soundtrack before the game came out because I wanted to hype myself. Honestly, I kind of expected, and that's why I initially gave up on it because, you know, again, when you come out of Xenoblade 1, with how good that game is, and then you go into that, I kind of set myself up for disappointment. Like, it's still a fantastic game, but I will say it's not even a flaw. It's more of like, the game assumes you're a Xeno fan.
Yeah.
Like, not Xenoblade, but all the Xenos. And if you're not up to snuff with how those games operated, you're probably gonna have a bad time. But again, like with Xenoblade 2, there are some people who persevered.
Right.
And like I applaud their endurance.
Maniac, I know this is Xeno talk right now, but if I can mention a game I'm playing that I'm just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Hades. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Hades too.
I keep hearing that Hades is good, but I think the thing that gets me about it mostly is the genre. Like, I don't think I would necessarily jive with the genre Hades is. I don't even know what to call it.
It's roguelike.
Yeah,
no, not even roguelike.
Isn't it like a dungeon crawler?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I like Legend of Grimrock, but it's more of an old school type of dungeon crawler, you know, grid based.
Okay.
This is more like a modern interpretation of dungeon crawling with roguelike elements, and I don't know what it is. Like, I from what I've seen, I love the writing and I love the characterizations of all the gods and demigods and all that, but there's something about Hades that I don't think I could play it comfortably. I don't know what it is, but it has stopped me from picking it up several times.
Okay.
Like, have you ever had games like that? It's like where people swear up and down it's good, and you're like so uncertain if you would like it.
Pretty much any Metroidvania style game for me, that definitely is a genre that it just does not, it's not tailor made for me. Don't get me wrong, you know, I've played a couple of them, and it's like, I know everybody loves Hollow Knight. I ended up giving up on Hollow Knight, you know. I still have not made much progress on Metroid Dread. And I really like Metroid Dread. I just fucking suck at it, apparently.
Yeah,
So,
and you know what? That's fine. Like,
yeah, so like that is a genre that I just am not good at.
yeah, that's totally okay. Like, you don't have to be an expert on all the genres. Well, that and Danny, honestly, Metroid Dread is the hardest mainline game, like, straight up. So,
You know, but I've even had instances where, like, you know, I like to say I'm pretty decent at platformers, because I mean, you know, when you grow up with like Mario and Sonic and play other kinds of platformers like your Spyros and your Crashes and stuff, it's like I'd like to say I'm fairly competent. I've played a fair amount of platformers, and yet the one series that I've tried playing several times and I, for whatever reason, suck at it, and that's Mega Man. I've tried playing a couple of Mega Man games, and for whatever reason, I suck at Mega Man games. I can play any other platformer, just not fucking Mega Man. I don't know why.
yeah.
Well, also, it doesn't help that Mega Man is a rather hard game.
Well, yeah, don't feel too bad, because Mega Man games are designed to be hard to encourage the player to keep trying again and again and again until they get it fucking right. So, for some people, it's a bit harder to keep up with, and that's okay. Like, if you can't physically play the game, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I feel like for some games, you really need like something that's a bit more like entry level if you really want to get a better feel of the genre.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to go back on Metroid Dread real fast, It's also hard because once Samus is at max power, you use all the face buttons on your controller. Yes, everything.
Well, the game also is like, I feel like they expected you to have like played Fusion beforehand.
No, not even that. Like Super Metroid with, you know, all the tech that you can do. Fusion and Zero Mission with, you know, how snappy Samus controls. And, yeah, all the sequence breaks that you can do if you really know the game that well. Which, let me tell you, it's a process. Like, I'm still trying to beat the game under 4 hours. It's really tough. Like, you have to know what you're doing 100% of the time. Like, I would dare say you can't even stop. And without risking, game time wasted. Like, even without sequence breaks, it is possible to beat Metroid Dread in just 4 hours. It's just really hard. Also, in hard mode, if you really want the special ending... Sorry. Special ending card, yeah, you're basically gonna have to haul ass and kick ass and
Beat ass.
No, not beat ass.
No, I said beat ass.
Oh yeah, beat ass. Well, technically that's the same thing as kick ass, but you know. Like, I'm about to go on another Metroid Dread talk, but, people are still discovering new things about, hidden, like, not even hidden details, but just general details about the game that, you wouldn't notice just by playing it. People are still discovering new things about it. Like how, certain creatures will hide from Samus or, certain enemies if they wander too close to them, or how you can see animals as you're, you know, entering Gavarin, the jungle area, and you can actually see giant plants eating those same creatures, like, poor things. And the fact that if you get ice missiles and you shoot them from the lava, they just turn into regular missiles. Like, it is super amazing how much detail they crammed into this game. Oh yeah, and you can sequence break to get so many things before you fight Kraid that you can actually go about defeating him in multiple ways. Like, not just the Morph Ball Bomb launcher thing, but also you can flash shift into his mouth and immediately act like you hit the melee counter on him. It saves so much time. I've yet to touch Dread. I would definitely get it. The one thing with Hades that kind of stings is just a part of the roguelike genre. You start from square one when you die. Hades, though, makes this not as bad, since you feel like you get stronger every time. You can also pet Kerberos in Hades. This game is 10 out of 10. Oh yeah, it's actually pronounced Kerberos, not Cerberus. That's the Greek pronunciation. Which also in Cyclops in plural is actually Cyclopes. The Greek language is weird. Bless you.
There you go.
Yeah, see, it's so weird it makes Danny sneeze.
Fucking sneeze.
Whew. Okay, with that, we got these ladies lined.
Woo.
Crap, hang on. I messed up a bit. There we go. Now we can do the thing. And then we can, move on to Locket. Wait, there's still something I missed? Oh, damn it. Hang on. Maybe I should lower the opacity on the line art. There we go. I'm
Jordan,
making silly mistakes, huh?
I looked up a bio page for the Shoiryu.
Shoryu? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shoiru is a fiery little creature. Treat him right and you will have a friend for life, but if you are mean to him, he will never forget it.
Yeah, so don't be mean to Shoryus.
Yeah.
Or they will disown you.
They will punch.
And then they'll disown you. Hang on, I'm just making sure there isn't anything I'm missing here. And I think we are good. So import selection, just do that. Save this. And then we will move on to Locket. Okay. Let's do this.
Now, righty then. Okay, so that being said, I will go on ahead and read what it is that Maniac has sent.
Oh, alright.
Okay. Locket was once your typical angel, originally named Isaac. One day, however, he fell in love with a human girl by the name of Alice. They stayed in contact for as long as they could and slightly looked forward to when Alice passed away so that they could be together forever. When the time came where Alice died, it was declared that she was a sinner and was sent to hell as a result. This enraged Isaac to the point where he forsaked his own happiness and declared all of existence meaningless with his lady love gone forever. This left the since self-renamed Locket to attempt genocide against his angelic brethren, hell-bent on doing the same to all life in the known universe. When it comes to abilities, he has plenty of angelic weaponry at his disposal, and a chain he can summon to an infinite length.
Why'd you take his whammon?
Because she was declared a sinner?
Well, everyone's
why,
a sinner.
Actually, is there a reason for why, his lover was declared a sinner? Or was it like a falsely accused thing?
I have no idea. I'm literally just reading what Maniac sent to me.
Yeah. I'm also asking Maniac, too.
Oh, okay.
In case he wants to divulge that information. Although it is your character, do as you please.
Yeah, and then he also sent, inspiration was sort of Count Black from Super Paper Mario, but not quite. I was inspired while listening to Man on the Internet's cover of Count Black's theme, while having some thoughts in the back of my mind about my somewhat recent breakup. It was some sad thinking, but I decided to make something out of it. And it's like, It's like, hey man, sometimes, you know, that helps.
Right.
Man, it's like, yeah, I mean, if it helps you out and you know, create something out of it, you know, more power to you.
Yeah, inspiration can come from anywhere. I would just be careful not to make it weird. That's the only advice I can give to anyone with characters right now. Like you can be inspired by anything and everything. Just be mindful of the context of the characters in question. Which Locket is totally fine. Locket is perfectly fine. So it was just something that popped up in my head suddenly. Yeah. So you're good.
Okay, Maniac says, I admittedly need to workshop it. Not fully sure myself. All I know is in canon, they've done sin and they're forever stuck in hell.
Good. I mean, it's bad, but good motivation for him to be a bad guy.
Alright.
By the way, Danny, since we got that far in My Hero, so what are your current impressions on Mirio?
I do like him a lot. I mean, before it was just, haha, funny naked buff Lucas. But now that we're going into the whole Airy thing, it's like, god damn. It's like, no wonder he was picked to be, the guy to take on All Might before Deku came in and fucked things up.
Yeah.
For better or worse. But honestly, I think even if Mirio were to find out about that, I think he would take it in stride, I think. I don't know.
I would like to think so. Mirio does not come across as to be hold petty grudges.
Yeah. No, that doesn't sound like Mirio at all.
Yeah, because you have Tamaki over here who's hyping him up all this time, being like, he's like super amazing. You're like, how cool could he be? Then you actually see him fight, and you're like, oh, he's that cool.
Yeah.
And according to the manga, he fought Overhaul for 5 minutes quirkless.
Yeah, so it's like, hot damn. But again, I think that's the difference, because it's because if you remember when Bakugo was fighting Deku, the big question on Bakugo's mind was why were you the one that got to be chosen? Why were you the favorite? I don't see Mirio with that kind of mentality. Mirio,
not at all.
Yeah, he's more the kind of character I can definitely see, if he learned the truth, he'd be like, he clearly saw something in you that he didn't see in me, and you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna fucking support that.
Yeah, I think the worst Mirio would be disappointed, but again, he'd take it in stride.
Yeah.
Because he's that good of a boy.
Yeah.
I wish I had Mirio's optimism.
Yeah, that boy's got quite the charisma stat.
Yeah. Of course, now it's we're in this whole freaking arc, and now it's now all of a sudden, now we're starting to give characters backstories and stuff, and I'm just thinking, one of two things is gonna happen. They're gonna have a super badass moment, which so far they all had, or somebody's gonna fucking die. Because why else would you give somebody this so sympathetic backstory if not to just make it all the more sad when they die? I mean, I really hate that fucking trope, but unfortunately it happens so often in anime that it's it kind of gets to that point where it's oh god, we're going into sympathetic backstory, somebody's gonna die. I mean...
when they completely telegraph it?
Yeah,
okay.
You begin to expect it, where it's just okay, this character's gonna end up dying, and they're gonna make it all the more sad for when this character dies, because we didn't give a shit about them before.
I mean, that being said, I also want to appreciate, too, where it's hey, even though Mirio, had his quirk taken from, the quirk bullet, he still kept on fighting despite that. Could you imagine if Rooster Teeth...
Yeah, I literally... Well, that would require them to be competent writers, which I don't think any of them are. But
that's what I mean. If they handled it, they probably would have Mirio be well, all that training and all that hard work I did doesn't mean anything now.
Yeah.
No, Danny, you just sparked something in my brain, because I was actually listening to Cinema Wins' video on Into the Spider-Verse. Great channel, by the way, Cinema Wins. So wholesome. And, hey, he actually gives legit criticisms when they're necessary. But anyway, about Spider-Verse. Perfect Peter, right?
Yeah.
yeah, when he was set up to be this perfect mentor to Miles, because like he was the first to know that Miles has powers, and he's like, hey, you know what? It's okay. I'll teach you what I know. Because I've never had anyone to teach me how to be Spider-Man before. So I'll show you the ropes after I save the world. And then he dies.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the sort of trope that I think you appreciate more because, you know, you weren't expecting it. And then when it happens, like, oh shit. What's Miles gonna do now? Because, you know, it raises the stakes and you weren't expecting it.
Yeah. You know, like, yeah, like if it's handled well and stuff, then absolutely. It's just, you know, yeah, it's become very commonplace that it's like, oh, we're going to kill this character off and no one cares about them. Well, let's give them a sympathetic backstory to make it all the more tragic. Or they're going to be like, you know, let's kill off this character for the sake of killing off the character. And it's like, you missed the point of killing off, when people kill off characters and when they are very tragic, you miss the fucking point. It's kind of like, I'm really getting sick and tired of how so many people now are trying to, you know, do the whole subverting the expectations thing. And, you know, they often cite Game of Thrones. And it's like, Game of Thrones, like, at least granted in those early seasons when they knew what the hell they were doing, because they actually had material to work with.
Yeah, they actually had finished stories to work off of, not just, you know,
not trying to make it up, you know. But, you know, yes, those early seasons of Game of Thrones did a lot of things that subverted expectations, but it was handled very, very well. Like, I guess, spoilers for season 1 of Game of Thrones, like the end of season 1.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm probably not going to watch it.
Okay, so all throughout season 1, you know, you are pretty much led to believe that the main character is a man named Ned Stark. You know, this is Sean Bean's character. And Ned Stark, really cool
Sean
character.
Bean.
Yeah, you know, really cool character all throughout the first season. The end of season 1 ends with his death. So everybody, that threw everybody for a loop because they're like, whoa, wait a minute. We thought this guy was the main character and you killed him off? What a subversion of expectations. But what made that subversion so effective was because to the story at large, Ned Stark's death kickstarts the rest of the story in Game of Thrones. So it's not just, oh, they just killed this character just to throw a twist in there or something. No. There was a fucking reason, and look at the fucking fallout that happens throughout the rest of Game of Thrones due specifically to Ned Stark's death. So to me, that's where it's like, that was handled so well. And unfortunately, I think people kind of got the wrong impression of the whole subverting the expectations. And now they're trying to like throw all these twists in and be like, well, look how clever we are. And it's like, you completely missed the point of what made these things so effective in the first place.
Yeah. I think Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions puts it best. If you have your character dying, say, I bet you didn't see that coming, you probably need to fire your writer.
Yeah.
Hey, one good thing also did come out of our watching of My Hero. We saw the MHA version of Arc.
God, you seriously?
Yeah, we all just noticed that.
It's like they run into this guy that, never mind the fact that he's got the wild hair and he's wearing the fucking bird beak mask. But it's like, he's this guy that's just all about fucking fighting. He's all about, you know, oh yeah, let's fucking go and shit. And I'm like, oh my god. This is Arc if he was human and a bad guy. I mean, mind you, Arc is technically supposed to be chaotic neutral, but, you know, which is like one thing away from being chaotic evil. You know?
Yeah, not quite good, not quite bad either.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, yeah, Arc he's not evil, but he's not afraid to throw down either. So it's like, but it's like, okay, yeah, imagine if Arc was a human and not a bird, and imagine if he was a villain, and that's this guy. And I'm like, holy fuck, it's Arc.
Yeah, his name is Rappa.
Yeah.
Like, guess we'll find out now, won't we? Oh, right, you totally get me, Fatso!
It's like that is Arc and Kedron in a nutshell right now. I mean, just the last session where he's like, all right, let's just have a fucking wrestling match in the middle of the public square. You know, Arc's just like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, admittedly, I know we didn't focus on it for too long, but it's like, oh my god, that was like ripe for like just throw out all the wrestling memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Sugash was like being like a referee, like that was great.
He's like, oh yeah. He's go like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like the funny thing is like, yeah, like between the two, like Arc would totally be the heel.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He would totally be the heel.
Yeah, no question about it. Kedrot would be the face.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, Sugash too, actually. Despite how cocky he's been getting, I would say that Sugash would definitely be a face as well.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, really out of everybody in the party, like, the only people that really are, like, remotely morally questionable are Arc and Ricket. Everybody else is clearly a good guy. Arc and Ricket, nah, they're not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Yeah. I still can't get over how we pretty much all simultaneously agreed, hey, so if anyone in the Curse of Straw Party were to become evil, who would it be? And we all simultaneously said, Ricket.
Yeah, and even Dion was like, yeah, that would be Ricket.
Yeah. It's like the very first episode of the DuckTales reboot where it's like, who's your evil twin brother? Louie.
Anywho, I has to start getting ready for work.
Aw. Alright.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out though, man.
Yeah, I will announce this though. I may have been robbed of the Christmas, but I am off on the New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where it's like, I'm just
Drinks
enjoying.
all around.
Yeah, it's like I'm enjoying my vacation at least for the next 2 days, because then I go back to work. I go back to work Saturday.
Yeah, this here is pretty much my job right now, so it's kind of like I'm on vacation every day, which kind of sucks because then I have to make the work. That's the one thing about going freelance that's kind of still hard to get used to. It's that you got to make the work, which also means at some point I do need to set up a 1066, I think it's called. I need to look up the actual name of the document again, but it's specifically for self-employed people that they fill out. I believe it's just how much you made it in a year, and then you use that for tax season. I'm still good for a little while longer. I just need to get my last W-2 from Pizza Hut. Hopefully they still have it on file. I'm sure they do, but if not, then I'm gonna have to do a little scrambling. But that's fine because tax season isn't technically until is the deadline February usually, or is it like, does it begin in February? I keep forgetting.
I want to say begins in February.
Right. But yeah, I'll figure things out. I hope. Nah, I'm gonna be dead before 2022. No. I mean, I use TurboTax, so the cool thing about them is that even if you do miss something, I don't know what they do, but they do retrieve some information that you may have missed. So that's really cool of them.
Okay.
And if you really, really, really need help, they do have resources for that.
Okay. And Mr. Maniac has sent me a little bit of lore.
Awesome.
Okay,
Go right
so,
ahead.
Yeah, he says this is pseudo spoiler for the end of the Locket arc, but since it's in the planning stages and nothing's truly set in stone, he doesn't mind sharing. With Locket's universal annihilation threatening all life, the last thing in his way is a heroically brave or just incredibly stupid hybrid. During the fight with Jason and Locket, Jason manages to get the first glimpse of his past, and he receives a new signature weapon in the form of the Goliath Scythe.
Ooh, cool name.
Okay, so we at least know, like, okay, that event will happen, but
Not how it's gonna happen yet.
yeah, still gotta plan everything else out, which is fine.
Yeah. Planning everything out, like me. Which is probably why I'm also taking so long with the current short story for Phantom of the Forest that I'm still doing. The one with the Selkie. It's still not done yet because, well, so many things got in the way towards the end of the year, so I kind of got distracted, but I'm definitely gonna pick it up back up at some point. Probably not the parts where the Selkie actually assumes her transformation, because, you know, there is mild nudity, because, you know, Selkies don't wear shirts in my world. They kind of don't need to.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, titties.
Honestly, it's kind of fun drawing boobs. Like, I'm surprised.
Well, you gotta learn how to draw them. If you're gonna take life drawing, you gotta learn how to draw tits.
Yeah, and while I'm not going to include sex scenes, because, you know, that's, well, at least not to that degree, I do want to get better at, you know, drawing people being hot. So that's another facet I need to get better at. Like nude people are definitely going to be more of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I will spoil one aspect about Phantom of the Forest. Alex gets titty twisted.
Okay. Yeah.
It makes sense in context.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, you know, because, like, again, I get, like, you know, when you're doing life drawing, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's just the human body. Whoop-de shit, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, you can absolutely take it seriously, but you know, we're human. Tits have a way of making themselves noticed, and
Yeah.
I can't control it. I wish I could, but I can't. But, you know, and it's like, we're all human, and there is a time and a place for cheesecake. And you should not, it's like, there's no shame in enjoying some cheesecake every now and then. It is pleasing to look at, just as long as it's legal cheesecake.
Yes. That's
like-
a big
Yeah,
stipulation.
When it's legal cheesecake, you know, have at it.
Yeah. And Savras and Alex are legal cheesecake, so there's that.
Black market cheesecake, throw that shit in the trash.
Please. Oh, cheesecake. I've never heard that comparison before. I kind of want to use that.
Yeah, fan service is just, yeah, cheesecake. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with enjoying. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with enjoying cheesecake. You know, it's just where the problem comes in is like, yeah, when you go into the illegal shit, or where all people consume is cheesecake. It's like, there's more out there than just fucking cheesecake. You
Yeah.
know, there's other decadent things to enjoy besides the same fucking cheesecake.
Yeah, like, what about brownies? Or, Turkish Delights? Or, I don't even know what those could be, like, attributed to, but you can use your imagination.
Yeah.
Would schlongs be Twinkies? No. I went too far. You made it weird.
let me see. Mr. Maniac also sends, in the end, Jason wins. Plot armor, of course. However, the defeat actually sets in motion the events of the true main villain of the universe of Spectre. So this story is over, the puppet show has ended, and the curtains have fallen. Time to get rid of this old set. Yeah, so this is the first villain, not the main villain. And you gotta start somewhere. Like, if you immediately start with the main villain, I don't know. To me, that kind of like decreases the threat of the main villain. Like, think of all the great stories, like, like even like freaking Star Wars. Like, Vader is the freaking he is a central villain, but he's not the final villain. That was the Emperor. We didn't get introduced to the Emperor in The New Hope. We were introduced to Vader.
Yeah, Anakin is more like the dragon to Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, so it's like you have that. Like in Final Fantasy VII, before you're introduced to Sephiroth, you're introduced to the entire Shinra Corporation. Like, you're introduced to them. It's like, even for all the shit that I give Ruby, even Ruby understood, don't throw Salem out at the very beginning. They started with Roman Torchwick. And they did too good of a job with Roman Torchwick, because I miss that fucking guy. That was back when the show was fun.
Yeah. Very rarely, a villain of that scope is written well. I would say the Transformers Prime and Megatron is one of the few examples where they get it right, where, yes, he is the main antagonist of the series, and we do start with him, but for most of season 1, he kind of gets thrown into a coma. Right. After a space bridge blows up in his face.
Right. But it allowed for Starscream.
Yeah. Starscream was able to get his time to shine, which, honestly, good for him, but it didn't last long. But it allowed Megatron to, come back as a bigger, better threat. Usually when he's in the picture, bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah, even if you look into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for the most part, I think maybe with the exceptions of Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency, where it's you were introduced to the main villain from the beginning and they remained the villain to the very end. But really, even starting from Stardust Crusaders, arguably, it's okay, we know Dio is the main villain. But how many fucking stand battles did they have to go through before they got to Dio?
Right.
It was Dio, you only truly met Dio in Stardust Crusaders during, the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and that was kind of the formula that they followed. It's you get to part 4, you meet all these other stand users before Yoshikage Kira came in, and then it's all about trying to find Kira. Then you get to part 5. You're going through the fucking mob before you get through Diablo. And, and they're doing the same thing right now with Stone Ocean. It's okay, yes, we've been introduced to our main villain, Enrico Pucci, but same thing. We gotta go through prisoners before you get to Pucci.
Right. Alright, hang on. Let's get our current lined works right now, just to see how far we've come. And wait, we already got Mr. Maniac. Okay, so we started with Cyborg Charlotte's Jaeger. Then we went to Ribbonbound with Miki and Curly Brace. And right now we just finished lining Locket. Right now we just need to focus on Kira in a dress and a certain other character that was commissioned. And you know what? I think we will line them too, and then we'll call it.
Okay.
Also, the Lelele song played. Kind of didn't, kind of wanted to finish my thought before I mentioned that. Because, you know, it's important.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, ooh. Pretty sketch.
Yeah, thanks.
And that
this character right here.
Yeah, it's like, and that there, whatever that was, that looks precious.
Yeah, this is Lilith, for, food drops. It's their OC, which they wanted, more human proportions for.
Okay.
And this is the original drawing. Alright, let's get Kira.
It's like a little Hollow Knight OC.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that is aggressively cute.
Oh, it's so cute, I can just squish it! Of course, we already have color references for Kira. We're not gonna do coloring just yet, I don't think, but at the very least, it will help narrow down Kira's design as we do the line.
Like, are you, like, do you plan on still keeping, like, the same, like, the similar color scheme, like, at least for the dress, like, you know, black dress, gold trims, or are you gonna actually play up with the color palette?
Actually, Kira did, throw in a reference for the dress, and I'll be adhering to that. It's a white dress.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? I will pull that up as well.
Okay. Yeah, because that's like,
Wait, no. There it is.
yeah, because I gotta say, like, oh, what you call it, like, because I know I've mentioned them before, but I watch Unicorn of War on YouTube, and, you know, they started out doing Ruby content, but they've kind of branched off onto doing other things, and a big thing that they talk about now, ooh, very nice dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, a big thing that they talk about now is the Winx Club, and that's actually, like, where I actually kind of got a little bit interested in actually wanting to check out that show, because I completely missed that show when it initially came out. But they did a couple of episodes, well, a couple of videos, like, mostly talking about, like, the fashion in Winx Club. Like, usually, like, ranking, like, okay, these are their normal outfits, and now they did a video on the casual outfits. Then they did a video on them just wearing gowns, and just kind of talking about them, and, like, a big thing that I never really thought about until they started talking about it, and it's like, hey, you know, this is actually an interesting take on it, is, you know, yeah, playing up color palettes. Like, you know, it's perfectly fine to associate characters with specific color palettes, but if you can find a way to, like, change them up a little bit, and it's like, yeah, you actually see, like, yeah, you can actually see, like, completely different, you know, things about the characters. You know, like, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like, again, going into Winx Club, the main character in Winx Club is a girl named Bloom. Her color palette is...
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Yeah, primarily she wears blue. So she's got fiery red hair, and usually her color palette, or at least her best color palette, is anything blue. It really stands out. And not for nothing, you know, it does look very nice. However, the company that does Winx Club, because, oh my god, it's such a girl show, they try to put Bloom in a lot of pink. And it just does not look nearly as nice on Bloom. You know, pink works on other characters. Like, pink may work... Pink is more for a character like Flora, you know, but for Bloom... Yeah, it just does not work for her. But they keep trying to push putting her in pink because, again, she's the main character and it's the girl show. So we got to get pink in there somewhere. And it's just like, stop pushing this pink thing on a character that doesn't work when you have characters that pink looks very good on with them. And then, but then you'll also have characters where it's like my from what I've been watching so far with Winx Club, and especially with World of Winx, my favorite character is a girl named Aisha. The colors she's usually associated are like sea greens and sea blues, like like teals, those kinds of color palettes. But if you see like some other color palettes, like other outfits, like, you know, sometimes she, you know, if she wears maybe like lime green or orange or even like black and white, and it actually looks really nice on her. So it's like, you know, yeah, okay, she might, yeah, you might see her mostly in like those sea greens and sea blues. But yeah, when you get to throw her in another color palette, it's like, oh, this actually looks really nice. So it's like, you don't think about it, because yeah, usually when you think like, oh, color palette, you stick with that color palette from beginning to end. And you know, it's like, yeah, I can appreciate it when you play around with a different color for a character.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it's like, I'm so used to seeing Kira in wearing all black, so that's where I'm like, are you keeping that, or are we gonna actually see her in another color? So it's like, oh, all white this time. Okay, now I'm curious.
Yeah. Which I'm a little curious about that too, honestly, because black and yellow is definitely Kira's color, but white and gold could fit just as well. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna play out.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm actually curious. Like, yeah, like, I guess let's continue this conversation with our Curse of Strahd cast. So, like, yeah, alternate color schemes or alternate color palettes. It's like, I don't know. Like, what colors do you think could potentially work with our characters besides the ones that we usually give them?
For Arc,
I know Arc's a little tricky just because, you know, he's got his like brown red feathers.
Yeah, but we could give him different trousers like the Hulk.
Right. Because I think right now we've mostly been keeping him on the brown with the browns, but not for nothing. It's like, and I think it's just especially because now I've been looking at the token a lot and stuff. Like green definitely would stand out with him.
Yeah,
like, that would actually I think pop really well with given the color of his feathers. So it's like, yeah, green would be a good alternative for him.
Yeah, I would like to see somewhere down the line we could give him more emphasis on green
or something,
like whether or not it's clothing or maybe even his body. It would be interesting.
Yeah, it's like Maniac, Kedrot having blue flames, maybe a purplish outfit to go with it.
Yeah, you talked about him having blue flames before, and I would like to say that would be an interesting color scheme for him too.
Mm-hmm. And plus, like,
shit.
I don't know, like, is it just me, or is it, like, usually when you think of, like, the Fae and the Fairies, like, usually, like, that color scheme is usually, like, your pinks and purples?
Well, yeah, for the stereotypical fairy, but, I don't know, lately for me, when I think of Fae creatures, I think of, like, you know, forest colors, you know, green, nutty browns, tree browns, and very rarely shades of purple and blue.
Okay.
Like, I know, I use that for Alex sometimes, where, foresty colors fit her really well, but, she also looks pretty good in black, and a very particular shade of dark blue. For Sugash, actually, on that note, maybe more emphasis, hang on.
Yeah, because
let me take a look at.
Yeah, because Sugash, Sugash has got the green skin, but I think it's like, yeah, a lot of his stuff is like reds and blues.
Yeah. I need to take another look at him so I can get my thoughts straight. Here we go. You know, giving him more red would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think
not just with the fact that it's a complementary color, so it's gonna look good no matter what. So reds and browns would suit him.
Right. Because, I mean, the way you've got him designed now is actually, I think, is actually really good. Because it's like, green and red, they're the contrasting colors. But it's like the spatterings of red that he has, it's in his hair and it's in his belt. And that's really all you need. You don't need to go too overboard with it. So it's like, you know, it's the right amount of pop.
Let me know if this answer comes across as samey, but I would say for Corey and Ricket, alternate color schemes for them would be, you know, maybe for Ricket, instead of straight black and red, it could be white for the primary and black for the secondary. And for Corey, it could be, you know what? I think she would look really good in blue. You know, considering she's already orange.
Purple would probably, like, spatterings of purple would probably look nice, too.
Yeah, purple would look pretty good, too. Mimi wears a simple black robe.
Right. Yeah, it's like red skin, black robe, white hair.
No, wait, we already have an alternate color scheme. Shiny Mimikyu.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, shiny Mimikyu.
Yeah, so change the color of the hood and the main robes. Yeah, it's like we already have an answer for that. Like, what am I?
That'll have to be something we, like, you know, play around with in the future or something. It's like, because I know when we were doing the abode, you know, everybody kind of got updated, like, costume designs and such, and I imagine
most of us. Yeah.
I imagine that will also happen in Curse of Strahd. So it's like, you know, that'll probably be a fun opportunity to play around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, especially if not even if the characters end up being, you know, transformed, but also they would get new designs to accommodate whatever happens in the story. Like, I don't know about you, but I love redesigns when they're done well.
Yeah. You know, that's where it's like, again, I keep falling back to fucking Ruby.
I was about to say Ruby too, but go ahead.
Yeah, because it's like there were some like alternate outfits that they've made for the girls that were done really well, and then there were some that not a fan of. Like, again, I look to Weiss, you know, because Weiss was my favorite character, you know.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
You know, so that's where I'm like, I thought the outfit that she had from the 4th season, where it was more like a frosted blue dress, I thought that looked really well for her. So it's like, okay, we're bringing in another color, but it's not so bright in your face. It's still, you got a little bit of like the frosted white into it, and it still has like a flair of elegance to it. I thought that was a really good look for Weiss. Compare that to what she's wearing in Atlas, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, now you went overboard. Like, you know, you went overboard. Like, the blue is way too damn, like, bright and vivid. And it's just like, you know, you have that. The way she wears her hair, it's like, yeah, the whole, you know, where it looks like bulky rope rather than an actual braid. And it's like, you know, and I am not a fan of the Atlas look. So I was like, you went from her original look, really, really good. The second look with the frosted blue dress, also really, really good. And then it's just like, yeah, now you went over.
Barfed.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it almost looks like they tried to give her more of a military look, and that just does not suit Weiss. That suits Winter.
It doesn't suit her at all.
Yeah, it suits Winter because Winter's in the military, but that doesn't suit Weiss because she has nothing to do with the military. She's the fucking ice princess, for God's sake.
Yeah, so she looks her best in fancy dresses and calm down for anyone who might be watching who thinks we're being sexist. No, like, it fits Weiss's character because, you know, she is kind of prissy, so a dress fits her really well. Mm-hmm. And on the note of her Volume 4 design, for lack of a better term, it cools down her original color palette of white and red very, very nicely. Mm-hmm. And it also brings more attention to her face because, you know, typically when you look at a character, the face is the first thing you look to. Right. And then with, well, I would say most of the current designs, it's like they're a bit too loud and no one told them to stop.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is Blake's outfit? Like, how does she get it on? How does she get it off? How does it work?
I know, like, you know, it's like, Blake, you're not Seto Kaiba. Just don't even try. Actually, you know what I think would make for a really cool, a nice color for Blake? Purple.
Yeah, purple would work really well for her.
Like, I've seen fan art where people have done, like, well, you know, people do, like, their own designs and redesigning characters for art, you know, specific arcs and such. And I've seen some people give her, like, a really dark purple, you know, so it's not, you know, it's not bright purple. It's more on the darker end, but it's not quite black. And it actually looks really nice on her.
Oh, like, Return of the Joker purple, probably.
Kind of, yeah. Like a really deep royal purple would look really nice on Blake. And you can and it's like, you know, you can have that, you can have some black woven in there, and you can accent, and use the whites to accent that. Or, even better, how about, you know, you really want to play to the Bumblebee shippers? Throw some fucking gold in there. Have her wear some of Yang's color. Like,
and, you know, vice versa.
Yeah, like, have some gold and have some gold accents in Blake's outfit, and then, yeah, it's like, yeah, Yang, throw some black in there. Like, why not? Like, just fucking go for it. I mean, it's like, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're really trying to push for the whole Bumblebee thing, so it's like, yeah, why not have that reflect in their own outfits?
And then there's Ruby herself, and
I don't think they really know what to do with Ruby after the first outfit. Her first outfit was so good, and every other one after that has been very meh.
I mean, I kind of liked what she had in Volume 4 and onward. It's just, the current volume, not only is the hair a little fucked up, but it's like, okay, I get that she's the youngest member, but you don't have to, like, rub it in. Like, you're a little too late for that. She's starting to grow up.
Why did they give her more white for Blake's outfit? I have no clue. But it doesn't, I don't think it looks nice on her. Like, white should be more of an accent, not a main color for Blake.
Yeah, like, white and black are really good for setting neutral tones, because, you know, they're neutral colors by, you know, in terms of the color wheel. So you can pretty much throw whatever you want as long as it makes sense. And there are cases where you can make black or white the main color scheme, but you really have to know what you're doing in order for it to look right. And in hindsight, not only is the base design for Blake's outfit nonsensical, but her chosen colors are a little confusing.
Yeah.
Visually.
Yeah, because it's like, again, like, you know, when I go back to Weiss, like, you know, with her second outfit, it's like, yeah, technically there's not a lot of white in it, but just even, yeah, like the tone, like, yeah, like the hue of the blue, it's on the lighter side. You can tell there's white mixed into it to make it that light. And it's like, you know what? I'll take that. You know, that's why I'll argue, like, if you were to put Blake in another color, like purple or something, put it on the darker end, not the lighter end. That'll look really nice on Blake.
Yeah, it's like, they dropped color theory after a while, and that's a shame. Because aside from the action choreography, I would say color was another thing that made RWBY stand out for a while.
Well, color was like a major theme of the show, and it's like, I think that's been virtually abandoned at this point. I mean, they even made it a point in one of the seasons, like, they made it a point as to why so many characters, like, their names are somehow derived from color. They made that as a part of the fucking lore, and that's practically been abandoned at this point.
Yeah. Oh, welcome back, Crystal. Yeah, we're just continuing with the line art for our commissions right now. Hang on, I did notice something here. Gonna do a fix. It's mostly a proportion of Kira's feats here.
Ah.
They feel a bit too close to her body. Ooh, what the fuck happened there?
You okay?
That was a major hiccup. Yeah, it's like some weird hiccup gasp. It's anyway. Proportions fixing I will do. I think I know a pretty good cheat for that too. So around her waist, and then also hi Jomsborg.
Okay.
That's my favorite song in the Witcher soundtrack, and it's
Oh,
not
okay.
even released for the main game.
That reminds me, I gotta get around to watching season 2 of The Witcher on Netflix.
Yeah, that is going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that just came out. I gotta watch that. There's a couple of things I gotta play catch up on. I think it's like, I'm like 2 episodes behind on Critical Role, so I gotta catch up on that. I just watched the 4th season of Agretzko today. I gotta watch the next season of The Witcher. I even though I've heard it's not as good as season 1, but I do want to watch the 2nd season of Centaur World. Like, Centaur World honestly took me by surprise. Because I went into that show thinking, like, with very low expectations, because I saw the trailer and was kind of, whatever. And I came out of season 1 like, oh, wow, this was actually really good. Like, Netflix, you did a shit job advertising this. This is actually a really good show. But I heard season 2 isn't nearly as good as season 1, but still I'd like to check it out for myself.
Yeah, because ultimately, you're the judge if something's shit or not.
Right. I mean, I'm not hearing like, oh my god, it's complete garbage. It's just, like, season 1 was so good that I think it raised people's expectations so high that they kind of came out a little disappointed.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think what else.
Okay,
I think off the top of my head, I think those are like the 3 things I need to catch up on. Yeah, so probably like tomorrow morning or something. Like when I wake up, I'll get to watching Critical Role.
All right.
Like I said, I'm like 2 episodes behind, and it was like, I was just so busy with work that I didn't have the time to catch up.
Okay. I will say,
I'm not too far behind. Like, I believe
Yeah.
like the next episode that I have to watch, I think is the episode where Travis comes back. So I haven't been introduced to his character yet.
Yes. I will say for that episode, you're either gonna really love him for the character that he made, or you're gonna absolutely fucking want to throttle him.
Okay.
I was somewhere in the middle, but mostly leaning towards loving it. I got some manga books, but sadly couldn't find Lupin. Lupin?
Yeah, Lupin the Third manga.
Lupin the Third. Yeah, because it was just released, and I wanted some inspiration for my Gentleman Thief story. Okay. Okay. And with that said, Kira has been lined.
Ah, so pretty.
Yeah. And she's only gonna get prettier.
And
In
now
fact, after the stream, I will...
it's like, now we go from, like, pretty elegance to aggressively cute.
I still love that, by the way. Like, aggressively cute.
That's what it is.
It is. It's definitely one of the more creative things you said.
Like, there's aggressive, and then you can just be aggressively cute.
Hang on, gotta get the eye shapes right. I swear, one general point of anxiety I get when doing line art is when the sketch already looks so good that you're like, oh god, I have to do it again, but cleaner. Which, you know, thankfully considering I have a pretty sketchy art style anyway, it's not too big of an issue anymore. But for the longest time, yes it was, because I was still trying to find my exact art style. Where I was like, oh, so to look good, it absolutely has to be pristine. And I hated inking because of it. It was just not fun for me. So I was like, okay, is there any way that I can just, you know, have it still be my artist's hand, but so I don't have to do everything too neat and tidy? Because I was never neat and tidy, okay? Like, I was never an organized kid. I never even kept schedules. I just committed everything to memory if I could. Like, I know we were given planners, but I never fucking used them. So, naturally, I think that kind of bled into my art style, where it's like, I feel more comfortable sketching than lining, so naturally, I want my lines to reflect that. And I think in recent years, I've hit a really good balance. That, and I think picking the right resolution really helps. Where I originally used to just work in 300 DPI, now I work in 350 DPI, and a small change, but it kind of made the world a difference. It's really weird.
Okay.
This is the point of the stream where Jordan rambles, but I guess I'm doing something right because you guys are still here. No.
Yeah. That's like, meanwhile, my art style is simple as shit. Too simple, I often think. It's like, we all start somewhere.
Again, we all start somewhere.
It's like, dude, I haven't drawn for years. So I'm probably, like, whatever artistic talent I may have had once upon a time, probably fucking gone.
You know, that reminds me of, I believe it was the animator Glenn Keane, the one who worked on Little Mermaid and all those movies in the Renaissance. Also, that amazing 60 FPS short that he did. Like, the fact that he worked on 60 FPS for traditional animation, come on. There was a conference he was doing where he was, you know, demonstrating animation to a group of people, and he's like, okay, so how many of you drew as kids? And everyone raised their hands, and then his response was, why did you stop? Like, that stuck out to me for the longest time. I was like, yeah, I mean, why do some people stop drawing as kids?
I don't know.
It's like, yeah, the obvious answer is they were more interested in other things, but I think that sort of gets into this weird headspace that leads to artists being more underestimated than we have any right to be. Animators, traditional artists, painters, you know, sculptors, all that. It's like the weirdest thing. And it's like, hey, we're already fucked enough. Like, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I'm still rusty right now because everything in my life keeps getting in the way when it comes to art. Yeah, like, getting time to do things is also another contributing factor because, if you don't do it often enough, then it will stagnate, which is why I think, you know, pulling inspiration from many sources is also helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you'd always have something to think about, at least. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a fantastic artist yet, but I think of all the 27 years that I have breathed this green Earth's air, I found something that I think fits me pretty well. Although I would like to do what Yuki Goomba does and get better at, like, copying art styles, or at least mimicking other art styles, because I know that's a really good quality to have as an artist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
wait,
mean,
hang on. No.
you know,
Nipples.
and that's where, like, I know people, like, I've seen people, like, they have, like, you know, their bad art takes where they say, like, you know, don't try and, like, copy other people's styles, and it's like, you know, I don't necessarily have a problem with it if it's, you know, it's research and you're understanding where other artists are coming from, and it helps to further develop your own style. You know, not a problem whatsoever. Like, you know, if it's a starting point, you know, that's where it's kind of like, you know, where people talk about, like, recoloring. Like, especially when it comes to Sonic characters, like the recolors, you know. It's one thing if it's just like, you know, it's your first draft, it's a stepping stone before you actually come up with something truly your own and something truly unique. I don't have a fucking problem with it. But it's just where people have problems with it is, I'm literally taking Sonic and I am gonna just make him green and he's something completely different. And it's like, no, you gotta do something more than just, you know, make him green. You know,
Yeah, I would say
like,
if it's
style
a kid.
yeah, like, style the quills, give them different clothing, you know, give them a different body type, like, you know, have fun.
Yeah, like, I would say if it's a kid saying all those things, then it's excusable because, well, A, they're learning, and B, it's also adorable in some way. But in another way, if you're an adult still tracing, assuming you're not, you know, learning art at that point, then it's gonna be seen as problematic, not gonna lie. That said, tracing is a really effective tool for beginners. but yeah, definitely taking inspiration from different artists that you enjoy. Like, I make it no secret that I love superhero cartoons, so like, hey, I like how that artist draws eyes, so I'll borrow that. I also love how this artist emphasizes shapes, so I'll take that as well. So like from shows to Spectacular Spider-Man to Batman the Animated Series and Teen Titans, I would say those were my biggest inspirations in art.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of Avatar too, because one thing I am noticing is that I do tend to stick to good anatomy, or at least competent anatomy. But yeah, okay. Let us once again show all the work that we've done tonight. We've gotten through 5 of these things in under, I want to say 3 hours almost. Yeah, 3 hours, not bad.
Nice.
That's a personal record for me because lately all of my art streams have been pretty short. So a pretty meaty one to start this week off. It's a new record for me because I know most of my streams lately have been really short. Motivation has been tougher to find lately, but that is something I'm planning to work towards on getting better with. But okay. So this is for Ribbon Bound. This is for Mr. Maniac. And I will send you the WIPs when the stream is over.
Oh, speaking of which,
Cyborg Charlotte.
Ribbon Bound says, "Heyo."
Oh, Ribbon Bound, just in time. We're just wrapping up here because we just lined up all of the commissions that I got. So here's yours. I hope you like it. I'm having a lot of fun working on these two so far. I'm actually in the middle of my own stream. They can't hear you though.
And it looks really good so far.
Thank you. Hey guys, I know who we're rating. But yeah. Mr. Maniac's Locket, Cyborg Charlotte's Jaeger. Again, really looking forward to seeing this one being finished. That goes for all of them, but this one is definitely shaping out to be one of my favorites. Like, then there's Food Drops Lilith, and we have Jen's Kira in a Dress. No, don't. I'm a mess. How about I do anyway? Alright. And with that, I think we're good on, Oh, hey, Josh! You're also, coming in at the end of the stream. This is all that we worked on so far. It is just line art, but, it's a really, really good stopping place, especially for 3 hours. Like, I also want to take this time to thank everyone who's commissioned me in the past couple of months. You guys are a treasure, and I'm really happy that you supported me in, towards the end of the year. And hey, it may be the end of the year, but I would say that for all the bullshit that has happened in the background, I am really happy I am at least able to make you guys happy. Hey, if they open again, I might pay for another commission too. That'd be great. But with that in mind, mainly because I'm out for blood at this point. Thank you for supplying actual masterpieces. These are amazing. Oh god. Mainly because I'm out for blood, and you're the first person I saw ribbon bound. Oh wait, that's not right. Here we go. All right. Let's do this shit, guys. We're gonna do more of this tomorrow night, so, for anyone who can make it, 6:30 p.m., same time as usual, and, raid message. Hot dogs and sausages, 5 silver, same thing. Right now, please!